everybody, and welcome back to the Shadow War with these absolute chuckle fucks.
Hey! I'm both fuck and chuckle.
Last time, Taliyah was 50% of our entire squad.
And we continue where we left off with a pile of bodies and 4 dudes tied up.
Something feels different about you all. Like, new haircut? New health bar? What is this?
New health bar.
Yes, I believe it's the mists of the weekend have rolled over everyone. Visually speaking, yes, a new health bar.
Well, I fell asleep under the tree.
Good sir, are you quite all right?
Other than the spot of being manhandled, I am quite alright.
Still plucking arrow out of his shoulder, arrow out of his pecs, arrow out of his back.
That is good.
Are you alright, my good man? You're a veritable pincushion. Are you sure you're okay?
He gently brushes off his cuffs.
Oh, take it no mind. I am perfectly fine. A butler of Stormhaven knows how to take care of himself.
I think I have some salve in the cart.
If it makes you feel better, it would be much appreciated.
He nods as he slowly, wraps back up his healing supplies that he had and puts it back in his pack.
Here, put this on your wounds.
Thank you.
He does a polite bow. And he's gonna sit on this rock and start wrapping up his wounds.
This thing is trying to get kind of a good read on these 4. Have they been really, all that active after we forced them to surrender and have them captive now?
1 or 2 of them look kind of just lost. One of them is just kind of side-eyeing you viciously. Another one just has a face of this shit again. Well, you're just gonna stare at us all day, or you're gonna fucking say something, you overgrown tin can.
Well, there we go. I was waiting for one of you to pipe up. After all, we are going to be heading into Pine's Rest come morning. You might as well want to take the time to have the last conversation that you may as well have as free men.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
If you don't mind, Sir Leosthane.
What?
May I?
He just kind of gestures
aside.
to them.
Yeah.
Right, he's gonna gently step in the front and just, appraise all of these dudes here. Let's start with, just generally, how do they look? Rough and tumble lot?
Other than being roughed up from before, they do seem capable.
Do they seem trained, or do they seem just, poor people?
Could you, make an insight check?
Yeah, sure.
The 2 in the centers, they seem experienced. You see some muscular build, and the way they just kind of carry themselves suggests some kind of training. The other 2 are just, you can see, tattered cloth underneath their armor. They're, country bumpkin kind of steel.
Alright.
He kind of, stands a little bit more straight and narrows his eye and looks at them.
Who the fuck sent you for? 'Cause whoever they are must be some high and mighty dumbass to send folks after 2 knights, the royal retainers, and, well,
He gestures around.
more able-bodied fighters than your lot.
Then why should I tell you anything?
'Cause I'll snap your fucking neck, that's why.
Well, it's not like I got any other choice. So either get snapped by you, hung by the crown, or ripped apart by those things in the forest.
Things? Elaborate.
Oh, do go on.
Yes, we have time.
The one on the top here, who introduced himself as Matthew, was you ain't heard about the disappearances? The sightings of undead in the forest? Oh, it's the news all over.
Yes, I was provided on a,
It's the news all over Pine's Rest.
Yes, I've been provided the news about the situation in Pine's Rest.
Listen, to answer your question, we got tipped off to the wealthy merchants coming through here with quite a bit of shine, and he had a heavy guard. So we rallied up a good amount of boys, but
And that's why you've been hounding the others who have been traveling through these woods, right?
Well, who the fuck tipped you off? 'Cause as far as I know, we started this whole ordeal literally this morning.
don't know his name. Weird fella in the cloak.
Wait. Aster pushes her head in and is just like, did he happen to be, like, green?
No, it was decidedly black. Why is there a child with you?
What?
You think we're reckless? You're traveling with a kid.
Why did your captain decide to bring 4 kids? You can keep your comments to yourself unless we have a question for you.
Thank you, Sir Leosthein.
The one at the bottom. Listen, Mark. You might want to keep your mouth shut. We don't want him coming after us. You shut the fuck up, John.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, y'all are a fucking bunch of idiots. So,
Is something the matter, John? Is somebody coming after you?
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing at all. Don't mind me.
Look here, John. We're trying to work with you here if there's somebody potentially who set you up to do this who is not be all that happy hearing about your abject failure.
I'm not talking about nobody.
No. If you can talk about somebody who may have set you up to this, if you can give us any more details, names, etc. I wouldn't be surprised that once we turn you in at Pine's Rest, they put the 4 of you immediately to death. We are in the middle of a wartime here. I don't think a town so close to the border of a battle is going to be wanting to deal with 4 unruly prisoners like yourself. So who knows? If you give us anything that we could use.
All I know is we were sent on a job to capture him, points at Morwen, and whatever shines in the cart. We had no idea that there were royal retainers here. All we knew was that there was a hired muscle.
just your lucky day you ran into us now, isn't it?
I won't have a word out of you. You killed my mate. My best bud since childhood.
Yeah.
Listen here. What's your name? Come on, you gotta have a name.
John.
Listen, John. Shit's nasty work. You should know better that if you're going into it, there's a high likelihood people are gonna get killed. My recommendation? Get your ass out of this line of work. Clear your name. Change it maybe even. And get the fuck out of Pine's Rest.
Well, you lot's taking us to our deaths anyway. Ain't much fat chance of that.
It doesn't have to be that way if you just tell us who might be coming after you, and by extension, you, us as well.
We're willing to work with you.
Listen,
And besides,
I don't...
I don't want to see anyone going to death.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I give advantage to Leosthein?
Yes.
Just as a help action?
Yes.
Please don't roll like crap like I've been rolling this entire campaign. Please.
Come on, Leo.
Alright, but you can't tell anybody that I told you. If he finds out, we're all dead. You're dead, I'm dead, everybody's dead.
Some mighty powerful fucker to be able to do that.
Some mighty powerful fucker who's going to go around hiring what? A gang of bandits to go after us?
Yeah. Who is
He
it?
didn't send us, he just gives the orders and tells the others what to do.
Last time I checked, Mana gives the orders. He's the one who sent you, bud.
All he's told the boss man was cause as much chaos as possible.
Your boss man that came here and broke his neck? Or a different boss man?
I'm different, boss man. Keeps his name secret, I don't know it. But,
Can I insight that?
yeah, he seems truthful.
Okay.
But, the big guy up, the big one, the scary one, he goes by Gehrman. He's got some kind of special skill or something, some kind of unnatural ability. Can't quite explain it, but one moment he's dead, the next moment he ain't.
Slow down there, John. Don't push yourself over this, alright?
Then the next moment, you have a knife across your throat.
Rio's thing kind of like looks to the rest of the group like, do we keep pushing this guy for information or not?
The look on his face is of absolute terror.
Can I roll for a history check, see if I ever got a briefing or any type of info about a guy by that name or those types of powers?
Sure.
Yeah, likewise.
Could I roll history?
Cat, there isn't much that's come to light. But as for the abilities, you do remember vaguely a string of visceral and bloody murders that happened a few years ago. The suspect was never caught, and they seem to move in a very similar pattern.
Noted.
Don't think that we're going to be letting you off the hook so easily just for a bunch of frankly made-up sounding stories that I'm sure were used as just a simple fear tactic against you. You're going to have to give us something a little bit more substantial.
I've given you everything I know.
We need more. We need to know, like, say if we were to try to find this man, where exactly should we start looking?
We never met him in person. He always sent a messenger or some other.
Okay, start there. Where'd you get his messages from?
Luke.
Look, can you give your mate here a hand?
We're buggered out of it. Since you had to go and spill the beans, you yellow-bellied, cowardly lot. The last message I received was in Fort Ostotska in Orodia.
You're all the way from Erodia, huh? And you got this tip-off when?
About 3 weeks ago.
Morwen, how public do you make your transportations?
I don't. I just received the order and I just carry it out.
How about this, then?
He's gonna step through the other two and push past and just kind of tower up over Morwen and cross his arms and look down.
What are you transporting that these men would want so badly that they'd travel 3 weeks out from Erodia to get here?
Just various luxury goods.
Various luxury goods, my ass.
Do you think it would be permissible for us to take a look at them to make sure that nothing got damaged in the scuffle?
I don't think I even give a shit about permittable.
He's gonna come over to the cart.
Oh, Jesus.
I am gonna open the cart.
Leah's
Roll
thing
an
is gonna
investigation
stand,
check.
is gonna stand by Morwen.
Something's
keep an
up.
eye on
I don't
him.
fucking trust this shit at all.
He seems to be telling the truth. It's just a lot of, like, fine vintage wines, cigars. There's a couple of barrels of salt pork. There's
Okay.
some fine linen, some silks.
Would you like a little help?
Raises an eyebrow.
Do it better than one. Sure.
You have a better investigation with me. I'm gonna give you advantage.
Fuck yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's
Not finding anything suspicious over there, are you?
Who do you work for, Morwen?
Count Dugan. He's the one that put the order in.
How long ago did the Duke tell you?
I just deliver supplies monthly.
Oh, it would have been known about a month ago.
About, yeah.
And you do this regularly.
Every month I come to his house with the supplies that he asks for.
Jed's gonna just like clap a hand on Seraphin's shoulder and then look over to Morwen and just be like,
Well, I think we're gonna pay the good Duke a visit.
Oh, you're not working.
Wait a minute. You do these every month, yet you suddenly burst into a tavern saying you don't have a guard for it, knowing full well you had a month in advance to get a guard for it.
I would hired a guard before, but then they just didn't turn up.
Did something happen to your guard?
I can only assume so. They didn't turn up at all.
Do you have names of who these people were?
It was just members from the Golden Band, the mercenary guild.
When did you hire them? Have they been your consistent guard for these?
They have.
If I may propose the concept that if this cart was attacked, it does reason to believe that your guardsman could have also had a sting put on him.
That is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that somebody noticed that these people were working for this mercenary at the guild. So,
Indeed.
us going to the Duke may not even do anything because it could not even be someone related to the Duke.
Count, actually.
Count,
He
whatever the
insists-
fuck his
Count.
name
He
is.
insists being called Count.
It's quite possible.
I recommend not
Dugan.
cross. If you run into
The
him,
dude.
if you do talk to him, I recommend doing your best not to cross him. He is
We will make sure Jed does not speak.
short in temper.
The fuck? No, I agree
You're harsh.
with Seraphim. You are quite harsh.
Listen, I will not be speaking either. I do not like these fucking nobles.
And don't worry yourselves about it. I've encountered his type before, so long as you flatter him and do the expected pleasantries, he won't bite. Now, I have one thing to request if we are going to go speak to said Duke, which is that we do not mention what happened here, in the off chance that this ploy is correct and we have sussed out why Sir Morwen was attacked here. It would be in our best interest to not draw attention.
That would probably be best, yes.
Whatever you say, noble bitch.
Pardon
Well,
me?
shouldn't we let the Count know that there's somebody who's trying to go after his goods and his cargo that he has delivered by the month?
He tilts his head and he's just like,
Did I do you some wrong?
Oh, you exist in aspect of a noble. I just do not.
Fair enough. But yes, I do believe we should keep our mouths sealed for the most part. And that includes keeping a close look on those four.
Luckily, it doesn't seem like anything was damaged, so everything should be fine. I think I'm going to retire after this, though. What are you up to, you little demon?
little demon's wandering over here. Is Seraphim up in the tree?
Yes.
Astu just kind of looks up and just like on the side of the tree.
What do you want?
Do you always sleep in trees?
No.
Jed said that it's not good to sleep in like precarious places because you might fall on a rock.
Well, that's only if you have bad dexterity. I'm like a cat, I always land on my feet.
She gets like a more determined look on her face. I'm gonna try and climb the tree.
Okay.
This is not gonna go well.
Roll acrobatics or athletics, whichever is better. You get up the tree.
She's going to like just plop up and sit on another branch. Just like start kicking her feet. And then she's gonna be like, do you kill people?
Not if I don't have to.
Have you killed people?
A couple times.
How do you deal with that?
You deal with it by realizing that the world is not fair. That you must look out for yourself more so in some situations than others.
If everyone's doing that though, doesn't that mean
Then 90% of the time you will be in accordance that we do not want to murder each other because we're looking out for our own best interests.
that guy seemed like he really wanted to kill people?
The bandits? Yes.
Yeah.
They cared about Morwen and the cart. They did not care about taking human lives. Sometimes the world is not fair because of violence. Sometimes the world is not fair because of nobles. The world is just not fair. And in all of those
Yeah.
situations, you have to look out for yourself first and foremost. Otherwise,
But-
there will be someone to step on your hand when you're falling off a ledge.
I don't know. I'm like, this whole time I wanted to be, I want to be the princess's knight. I want to keep her safe. So, That she doesn't have to look out for herself, I guess.
That is very kind.
Isn't that also a thing worth having in this world?
Oh, yes. And there are plenty of people like that, but they are typically the first ones to die.
Pull her, like, knees up to her chest, sit on the branch, and just look down at the fire for a little while, not saying anything anymore.
Have you ever wanted to be anything other than the Princess's Knight?
Maybe? I don't really remember. This is kind of awkward. I've got memory problems. So, like, sometimes I'm doing things and then I just forget. Or, like, the years before living at the palace, I don't remember very well. So, I might have, but I don't know.
Well, perhaps you can learn more about yourself by not dedicating yourself to someone else before you have to.
Why not, though? I mean,
You might not enjoy it.
it's been alright so far.
I'm sure it has
And I
been.
wanna... I'm not just doing this because I have to, I want to. She protected me, so I want to protect her.
Alright, little. I don't have a name for you.
Aster, that's my name.
Alright, little flower.
A flower? Oh.
Okay, that's close enough.
I'm going to sleep now. Don't fall off the
Do
tree.
you mind if I just sit here for a little bit?
As long as you don't die. Yes.
I won't. That was really cute.
Talk to you later. Hey, Connor is gonna just, after having listened to a plethora of the shit going on over to the side and watching Jed rummage and look, just kind of walks over to Sink, and he just holds his hand out. Blank expression, just kind of like expectantly.
She looks at the hand, she looks up at you. What?
Oh, right there. Wounds?
Joel. He like holds out just a single finger and taps your hand.
No, not mine.
What?
Give me your injured area, please.
She like rolls up her sleeve and you see just clear arrow wounds where she had been pulling them out along the way, kind of awkwardly mangling the flesh a little bit because she's bad at it.
Of course. He... I use prestidigitation to clean the wounds. And then... Go. I should not scar too poorly, but this is still a possibility for scarring.
You're no royal healer, but you'll get the job done, I suppose.
I am not a royal anything. I am just a man.
Well, just a man. Got to have something, right?
Similar to you, I'd say, since you can also apparently sense things that you should not be able to sense.
So you noticed that.
Noticed and learned a little bit from someone else.
Right. I suppose you could call it a royal gift. I think that's the right word for it. At least that's what I've come to assume it is. My father has the same ability. And so do I. So, for example, Normally I ask for permission for this sort of a thing. It's a little bit invasive, and I don't really like doing it to just anyone, because sometimes people's thoughts are just disgusting. But if you're not against it, she then looks over to you, her, eye under the cloak glowing a light blue. I could take a little bit of a look at what you're feeling right now.
Moment then, he who does mind takes the sickle from his side and just kind of sets it out of the where she's looking.
Okay. I'm gonna use my little thing. How's Karan feeling right now?
Let's see. He feels guilt, but also a little bit of happiness, as if he's done a good job for something.
Let's see. You're pleased because you've accomplished something within your moral paradigm, but you're also experiencing a little bit of... how do I put it? Discontent? It's a little bit of a mixture.
I do not like slaying people.
Taking lives, I figured.
I also still feel a little bit... He picks up the sickle and reattaches it to his hip. A little bit guilty for being too slow for some things. There is apparently a boundary
She
here.
kind of holds her arms a little bit closer to herself and is like... They were very loud.
All of the emotions of the people here?
Everyone. All of them.
Can you sense them once they're gone? Passed on, I mean.
It gets harder, and then eventually fades. The emotion of death is one I've touched before, and one I do not wish to experience again. So normally I forcibly sever any connections before someone perishes. Unfortunately, when there is that chaotic of a fight going, some of those emotions still come through.
I would have to say then that I go a little further beyond what you do then. I have to live in this death.
What's your deal then?
Well, I have to find some people, find some things apparently now. I make sure that those that are dead stay dead, return to the cycle, and as well, I try and make sure that people that try to break the balance cannot do that. I've already done that slightly today. There was a boundary here that was weaker.
I see.
Yes.
So you've already got a purpose.
Yes, but it was one that was given to me. Should I say, forced upon?
I know how that goes.
Yeah. I figured someone like you might. I've heard stories about nobility and all that, but...
Stories that people have told of Stormhaven.
Not of Storm
Stories of...
Haven, but of kingdoms past. Kingdoms that might not even exist anymore.
Are you speaking...
After all, whenever you speak to the dead, you sort of learn many things. And whenever one of your companions is an elf that lived for many years, well, sometimes he won't shut up and try to teach you lessons.
Oh, I see. So you've got someone talking in your ear 24/7.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But it's with all of your itty-bitty little feelings that keep plip-plopping against my head like raindrops. Gets so tiresome.
Yes, but at least the ones closest to you have good intentions.
Don't go assuming that you know what people's intentions are around me. Their intentions are their own.
It's
Good, I don't know is how I would put it. The intentions of Stormhaven?
No, not.
A mess.
I'm not speaking of those ones. I'm talking about the three that travel with you. They have good intentions, at least. A soul never lies. And I can read into the soul.
Yeah, I suppose they're alright. Since you know my secret, though, you're very perceptive, and I kind of hate that. I would appreciate it. She kind of like chews on that word for a second. If you tell no one of this.
Do not worry. Let's see, how did she put it? That would be similar to kissing and telling? Which is a rude thing to do, if I remember correctly.
Sounds like a very weird thing to do, especially under this context. So yes. It's just that, here, for your own awareness and possibly for mine, there are stories in these places of people who can bend and manipulate the emotions of those around them. They're seen as monsters, dictators, people that would bend the world to their own will. The people are afraid of them. The people think that they'll be manipulated. If word got out how deep this power goes.
Sounds similar to something I heard before.
Maybe you've heard the story.
Possibly.
You were talking of old civilizations. There's been one or two kingdoms that have been told to have been ruled by someone with my abilities. The abilities of an empath.
Oh, not every person is good, but not every person is evil. How
Are
you...
you just proverbs, or do you have a personality in there?
Damn.
Depends on the day. Right now I'm kind of experiencing a lot of souls and whatnot, so...
maybe some days it is, but maybe some days it isn't.
I love these two.
Uh,
Yes, alright, sure. So you're... okay.
I do have a personality, so... I have to keep it in check.
Me too. Understand how that goes. Ugh. Have you heard the term putting on airs?
Yes. I believe that...
That is my life.
Hmm.
It's atrocious.
You know, you can always just not be the princess or whatever for a little bit. I believe that they call it a disguise.
What do you think I'm doing?
Flaunting that you're a princess?
That's just how you get people to leave you alone. If you appear as too much of a righteous asshole to everyone around you, they'll all start just disappearing and not talking to you, and you can have the place to yourself. Really, it's quite easy to get what you want if you say the right words.
Sounds lonely.
Maybe I want to be lonely.
Does she?
Yeah, okay.
Each other.
Oh god, there's no way I can even
Oh,
beat
that was a 19.
Yeah, there's no way I can actually beat that.
I'll give you a little bit of something. It seems that she's chuckling. There's a little bit of levity at something you said. It seems that you hit onto, something she was already thinking. At some point. You don't know what exactly it was that you said, but something.
What's her soul look like?
Pretty bright actually. It's bright white light.
Stares for a moment. Don't taint that soul too much. It burns too bright. Sometimes the brightest lights.
Burn for
Burn
the
out
shortest
quicker.
amount of time. Proverbs. You really got to work on that.
But also, they also bring some of the points to the girl in the tree. Some even brighter lights.
Are you pointing at us?
Yeah.
At that, she's just gonna be like, she narrows her eyes trying to figure out whether or not you're just like full of shit and trying to mess with her.
Hold on, can he just see all the souls nearby him? Because I'm really curious what Varactic just looks like compared to Aster.
Oh my god, I love Varactic.
You are within range, so technically, yeah, you could.
It's like a kind of like off-white kind of color, but there's quite a few flecks of red within it.
Kara's gonna walk away and just. So, learn anything? No, Leo saying?
I think I've just about concluded all the questions that I want to know for tonight. If it turns out that what the stories that these four are regurgitating to me aren't just a bunch of, fabrications to be used as a fear tactic to keep those on the lower rungs of the rankings silent.
I still say we tie him upside down to a tree and see
No.
if they survive the night.
They wouldn't, I can tell you that honestly.
I've heard stories that these woods aren't exactly the most hospitable. Stories about undead, vengeful spirits, that sort of deal. No, I was actually pondering exactly what we should be doing with these four. I vote that we bring them along with us. Morrowind, do you have any objections to that?
This lot tried to rob us. You sure that's wise?
As long as we keep them out of the wagon itself, walking alongside them, I will be walking with them to make sure that they behave themselves. Yes.
The four just kind of look at each other nervously. It's a mutual look of, what the fuck have we gotten ourselves into?
We will not be stopping at Pine's Rest. I suggest that we go straight to the Count.
At that rate, we might as well just execute them here and take less time.
At Varactic talking, they all flinch.
Hold yourself back for now, Varactic. If they try anything on the trip up there will be plenty of opportunities to do so.
No, what I'm saying is the Count will just execute them. Not even a trial, dude.
We'll see, but I'll see that doesn't happen. How about this? From now on,
Sure, man,
You
you're trying to
four-
deal with the nobility. I'm going to bed.
And Leosthane points to the four bandits.
from now on, you four are accompanying guardsmen for the cargo.
They kind of look at each other, and then one Luke looks at you. We getting paid for this?
Yes, your first big job for your new lives.
They kind of shift their chains and just kind of huddle up. They kind of huddle up. It's like, all right. So, if we go back to the gang, we're all dead, right? Right. We go to Pines Rest as we're dead, right. We do this, safety in numbers, right. All right, you got a deal.
I hope that you four, for the time being, can play the part of honest men. Once we depart, I will relieve you of your bindings, and you shall join us. If Morrowind here is not willing to pay you, I shall be divvying up my cut among you.
Very well.
How's Morrowind doing?
He looks just entirely done. Just
Leosthane will give him a very firm thumbs up.
he'll give you a half-hearted nod.
Well, what else did you expect me to do? Classic case of those acting against us, employing those who are out of the know, unfairly sending them to their deaths.
Considering the intel was wrong and most of our lot is dead, yeah, I'm pretty sure we were just sent to our death.
Right. So, if the world decided it would be so unfair to you lots, for what reason do we have to follow suit? After all, the world makes people like us to be fair in its stead.
Leo's saying, get a point of inspiration. That resonated with me. Do you guys try to get back to sleep?
I'm okay with you giving me a point of exhaustion, because Aster's gonna try and sleep in a tree. Because she thinks that Seraphin is cool and wants to learn how to do it.
Could you roll acrobatics?
There it is.
Time for a concussion! Hey, concussion!
Could you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh my god! Oh no, you're gonna kill a child before anyone else does.
So Tally, pine trees are pretty tall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Spell slots do I have left?
You fall like 10 feet.
Ow. Yeah, that's a d6 of damage. Hold on.
Oh.
Lucky.
Lands in some grass, thankfully.
Leo says immediately during the launch, as soon as Aster falls off the tree, it's just going to like get up and just run over and immediately lay on hands.
I'm okay. It's okay. Thank you, Sir Leo.
Is the whole tree sleeping deal working with you, or do you want to return to one of the tents?
Her face is just red. She seems very embarrassed from having fallen out of a fucking tree.
Go ahead, heal for one.
Yay. I'll just.
Just there for now?
Yeah.
Let's say that at least going to go to one of the tents that you're no longer occupying and like bring out like a blanket or something.
She just mumbles, maybe I've got to work up to sleeping in tree. Maybe that's like level 5.
I love her.
So she's just gonna sleep at the base of the tree.
Oh my god.
So the rest of your watch, Karan, nothing happens, and as you lay yourself down, you nod off pretty well. And then you find yourself standing in the middle of the forest.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Get dream sequenced, idiot.
You find yourself just on a forest path. It's dark, it's very dark. And you see a silhouette of a man in fancy garb in front of you. And you feel your quickening forcibly activate itself. And you see this man's soul. His soul is black as pitch. And there's just a general unease, and you just feel an overwhelming sense of malice and bloodlust wash over you. It's as if you are staring into hell itself.
Oh, as long as it stays back.
And you turn to flee, and as you do, you see the wolf once again behind you. And you just hear in your head, beware the one who walks on the edge of perception.
Oh.
Leo's thing, watching Karan have a nightmare is going to shake him awake.
Oh yeah, Karan, you wake up in a cold sweat.
My good sir,
Yes.
are you alright?
Yes.
You were running in your sleep.
Just not a very good sleep. Whenever you can see the souls of people and whatnot, you can tend to have nightmares induced by the soul and spirits that are left behind. It'll pass.
Is there any, coffee? Did anyone make breakfast?
Leo's things would be working on that if nobody else would.
I'm really tired still.
Probably because you fell out of the tree.
Ah! I didn't think you saw that.
No, I heard that. Sorry from climbing to the wagon.
Morin sits down a little flask on the log next to Aster and walks away.
What did he set down?
Please
know.
tell me
What did he
flicker.
set down?
Do you open it?
I'm checking it, yes, because there's a certain vigilant man over here that's going to run over and yoink that if it happens to be alcohol.
Yeah, you take a sniff out of it. It does have a strong but interesting scent.
Strong but interesting. Can I make an insight check?
Mm-hmm, sure.
I have not rolled above a 10 today.
That means
The DC was very, 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 very low. You would have smelled probably Jed or somebody drinking this many times. That's some fucking whiskey.
I don't have to roll insight for that shit.
Hang on, my young miss. True warriors should not be drinking this early in the morning.
But isn't this coffee? Isn't that coffee? She takes another sip. Oh, that's not coffee. What is this?
No. I'll make sure that this flask gets returned to our good Sir Morwen.
Jed is gonna come over here.
Yeah, listen to him. Don't drink that, kiddo.
Okay. Do you think that, Mr. Nightman could try and look around for that to localize some, like, stocks that we could grab for the morning? Maybe before everyone else got up, do you think he could have looked around for that?
Yeah.
if Carl would have seen him getting up, he would have gotten a small guidance. Just in case we, he ran into something stupid. Again.
Thank you. That helps me roll above a 10, maybe.
Jed goes on one of his walks.
One of his walks, yep.
And
He would go on a morning walk, it seems like him.
could you,
Investigation?
yeah, sure, we'll go with that. About maybe like an hour walk or so. You do find what looks to have been a camp. I mean, could have fooled you with the shredded tents and the bloodstains on the ground. And you see several more of the bandits, the lifeless bodies torn to pieces on the ground, ribs exposed to the cool morning air, flesh flayed to the sides, blood pooling where they fell, and looks of terror on their faces.
Jed's going to step into the camp, just sort of grumbling low to himself. He's going to keep himself hidden a little bit more. I'm going to reach down to one of the people that has their rib cages sort of splayed open and just dip 2 fingers in the blood and just take a smell. How fresh is this?
Very. You say that they've been dead for maybe about 3 hours or so?
He takes note of the fact that this just happened. He takes note of the fact that the men back at our camp definitely lied about having more reinforcements close by. And then he takes notes of the people around. Are they more bandits, or are there any, civilian types that were traveling with them?
No. It just seems to be these corpses. The curious thing, they seem to have all fallen while standing back to back.
Like they had cowered away and, hid from something? That type of deal?
Like, sitting in the middle of the camp, looking towards the edges.
Gotcha. Is there a fire in the middle of the camp?
It's embers now, but yes.
Okay. Just gonna take note of that. Can I scavenge anything from these people?
You look over them, but it looks like everything's been taken. And you also, on closer inspection, you see not only have they been flayed open, but their throats have been slit as well. And there are shallow cuts all over their body. Like, kind of cuts you'd expect, the kind of straight cuts you'd expect from, a knife or something. But their bodies are just covered in these wounds. These men weren't just hunted or killed. They were tortured. And whoever did it fucking enjoyed it.
Alright, here's what I'm gonna do, Adam, and I have to message you this in secret.
Sure.
I'm assuming I'd have to roll for that somehow?
I'd say experience would dictate this one.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. Okay, cool. Last thing, as I look around. Bits of feather, torn pieces of fabric, tufts of fur, tracks, anything that could signify something that wasn't these bandits, something out of the ordinary that was left behind by the attacker.
Roll a... I think track is for that. To be survival. Yeah, no, there's a mess of footprints on the ground. And as far as torn fabric go, mostly it's just shredded bits of outfit and shredded tent. You don't really find anything, due to the chaos of the scene, nothing too, telling.
Okay. Then I have one last question. Are there any symbols of what group of people these all hailed from, these bandits? Can I tell? Are they Erodian? Are they Mezian? This is definitely the same Erodian group, or is it a different group?
Judging from skin color as well as like one of the bandits is an elf. They seem to be multicultural. One of them in their back pocket that did have a folded up tiny Arodian flag. Another one had a bit of a flower in their hair that you would know from traveling through that area that is native to Senia.
Okay, so they really are just a ragtag group of bandits that kind of got caught up in this whole mess. That's a shame. Okay.
As for symbols, could you make a perception check? Everything's a mess, but the blood the blood in the ground seems to have flowed in a weird way.
Use the guidance on this. Fuck. Ugh. The blood on the ground is flowing weirdly?
That's the least of your problems. You feel a chill on your shoulder, and you can't help but to feel like you're being watched.
I did say that I was making a stealth check on the way in. Do you need me to roll that?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yes. And something tells you, that voice in the back of your mind, putting you on edge, and you feel like, you're not as hidden as you think you are.
He stands up. He puts the edge of his blade into the ground in the center of the camp, just sort of looking around. One eye shut, the other eye just perceiving into the shadows of the trees around him, and he just says,
Rather spineless to kill a group of bandits like this. Even more so to torture them. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
I think you already know my name. German.
Where's this coming from?
It seems to come from all directions at once. Can't quite pinpoint where it is, but you swear you could see just flitting things of movement on the edges of your peripheral vision. And as he continues to talk, it sounds like it's circling around you. Well. Jed, is it a storm, Val? What, pray tell, is a Knight of the Storm doing here, of all places?
Sorry to burst your bubble, Gammon, but I don't exactly trade information with someone I can't see.
And I don't quite show myself to someone carrying such a pretty little knife.
Thanks for noticing.
He kind of like hefts the blade.
She's quite the beauty. No, I don't have anything against attempting to undermine. Some goods being transferred to some count somewhere. For all I care, you can keep doing whatever the hell you're doing.
It's not like you could stop me.
Uh-huh. You're a little full of yourself. Good to know. What I'm saying is, when you start threatening the lives of those less fortunate, you really piss me off.
I'm gonna try and find him in the woods. I would like the perception to try and localize the place.
You can try.
Alright.
But first, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
No matter where you look, you can't seem to isolate where it's coming from.
Okay. He's gonna light the fire.
So you do. And the fire turns green, and the sounds of the flames sounds like a laughter, like it's laughing at you.
You really are full of yourself, you know. You magic types really love this whole song and dance of illusionary spells, laughter. What's next? Visions of my worst fears. Come on, hit me with your worst. If you're picking on people this small, maybe you'd like someone your own size, huh?
Small. This lot.
Yeah.
You've no idea who they work for, my misguided friend.
And I'm running out of patience for your ass.
He's gonna start trying to take a torch to all the camps, all the tents. He's gonna try and set this place on fire.
Oh, good. I was getting kind of cold.
Yeah, shut it. I don't need you in my ear.
Hey, quick side thing. Can we, everyone back at camp, can we do like perception checks to see if we notice the smoke rising?
Oh, yeah, sure. Definitely.
Fuck yeah! Thank you, Duncan.
Okay.
Yes, Leo Stain. Yeah.
Seraphin, yeah.
I see
Nothing.
nothing.
Charon, everyone's got good eyes except for Varactic.
I'm too busy eating.
Vrectic's probably
Hey,
still like asleep
okay.
or eating breakfast.
Yeah, you guys see smoke rising in the distance. Collectively, as a group.
Well, that can't be a good sign.
I can go check it out. Someone keep an eye on the new 3, 4.
Did any of you see where Sir Vardock went off to?
He normally goes on a walk around this time. That could very well be him.
If that amount of smoke, we should go see what's up. We wouldn't want it. If there's a large fire, we wouldn't want it spreading to any of the
Takes a
streets.
closer look at it. It's common practice in the northern mountains to send smoke signals if you're lost.
That's very close by. I don't think he's lost. I think he needs our help.
Yeah.
It's probably the bandit camp. I would have gone looking for it if I was him.
Alright, my good princess. If you wouldn't mind staying here to watch the cart and the bandits, Estovich, do you think you could accompany her?
Yes, of course. I will keep us safe and make sure that nothing else attacks. If need be, I'll send you a message. Go on, you have my blessings.
Very well.
Severactic, if you would please.
He's going to turn to you and cast haste.
Post haste.
I have a 40-foot move.
Fuck, can I retract that? I forgot you were a monk. He would know to, yeah.
Meanwhile,
Back to Jed.
playing with you
The cocky fucker.
is fun. But unfortunately, my master? No. My colleagues need me somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. Your colleagues need you. Alright, run away. Go on. Get going.
You hear a crack.
From where?
Is your sword in your hand?
Yep.
You're holding half a sword.
How? No reaction.
You do not have any idea what you're dealing with. It's quite cute.
I don't really care what I'm dealing with, bud. You want me to fight you with half a sword, I will.
No. It's not time to fight you yet. You're not ripe enough.
God, I fucking hate talking to you.
Oh,
Go.
hold on! Sir Vardock is the ripest man I know!
You look down, it's a normal sword again.
Alright.
And it goes quiet.
Fucking wizards, man. Ugh.
Me significantly earlier than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Seraphim
Are you out there? Are you reclining or aid?
Yeah. You just see Seraphim just like
shouting.
track star sprinting towards you.
He's gonna look at her. Can I perceive to make sure she's not an illusion first and foremost?
Sure, go ahead. You know that gate. That's fucking Seraphim.
I see you're alive.
Yeah. Some sort of spellcaster.
I hit.
Doesn't want to reveal himself, you know, the cocky bastard type.
Oh, yes.
Killed this here encampment. Pretty sure it's the rest of the bandits that attacked us last night.
Good ones.
Said his name was German. Said he was working with the council. Seemed very remiss about acknowledging that he had higher-ups above him. And, yeah, kinda left in a tizzy.
Shame I didn't get to hear his voice. I could have mimicked him.
Oh, believe me, you'd tire of it quickly.
Just in case, we run into him and we need to double check.
Hey,
And
can Seraphine make a perception check?
At this point,
I can make a perception.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Perception.
You notice it. The blood on the ground, why it looks like it's flowing weird. It seems to be as if someone took a paintbrush to it and drew very, very intricate designs with the blood on the ground.
Seems he's a painter.
All around.
And a torturer. And a murderer.
Give me a second, I'm going to climb a tree. Can I climb a tree to get like a better view above, just to see, like, make sure there's nothing like written in the blood that we can't see from like our low point?
Sure, go ahead.
I'd say at this point, just clunk, 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 clunk.
Ka-chink, 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 ka-chink.
So, Vardak, we came as soon as we saw your signal.
Leah's saying you immediately see the butchered
Vardak?
bodies.
Sir Vardak, are you... Oh my god, did you do this?
What? No, kid. No.
Like, she runs up and she makes sure he's not hurt, and then he just, like, pats her head and makes sure she's not hurt, because he's just like, oh god, you slept on the floor, didn't you?
I will say, Aster would have never seen bodies this eviscerated.
She's trying not to look at them.
Yeah, you might not want to look around too much, kid.
No,
Some
scar.
perverted fuck has been going around torturing bandits. And if he's still listening, he can suck my dick.
Sir Shed?
So, wait.
Yeah, Vardak, what?
Oh, okay. You said name? What was it?
It's the bastard that hired the bandits. Gershwin,
German?
German, yeah.
Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Yeah,
Gerald out.
so you're saying you're saying that he was here just now?
A projection of him, yes. He was using some sort of magic to stay unseen. And some sort of magic to change fires, colors, make auditory illusions. In other words, he's a megalomaniac bitch.
Yeah, can you tell me exactly, like, where were the voices coming from? We could still look to see if there's any trace.
Unfortunately, he completely masked his voice. It was all around. I couldn't discern which way.
Leah's saying just gonna do a general kind of like, I guess sweeping kind of like a circular motion, like area outside of the camp, just to see if there's any traces left of someone being up there.
Nothing.
Seraphine, do you see anything up there? Like,
Not much. Do you see any patterns in the blood? It's like someone took a paintbrush to them. I'm trying to see if he was drawing something like a...
The blood is painted in that of a magic circle
Karan,
for a very specific kind of ritual. A ritual to corrupt souls.
Karan immediately fucking cast prestidigitation multiple times. Eyes very red at the moment. That blood is gone.
And so you do.
Eyes still red, quickening active now. Are there any souls around here, wandering?
You do see very tiny flicks of what would have been a soul from the bodies. And they're black, but not like shadow black. They look as if they've been burned. And then, as you watch, they, one by one, flit out of existence.
And I, as Varactic, just because, shot in the dark, roll history to see if I remember anything similar I've seen in my service near the scar.
Yeah, sure. No, you haven't.
Okay.
Karan is gonna look to Seraphim after his little meltdown. Just thank you for letting me know that those existed. That was a corruptive circle.
That's really bad, right?
Extremely.
Okay.
My good Sir Vardak,
Yeah.
is there anything else that this airman told you?
He said he was going off to speak to a council. He also said it wasn't, and I quote, my time yet to face him.
So he didn't try to attack you or anything like that? Are you unharmed?
I am. Although he did threaten me quite a few times.
Likely just the empty threats if you are correct in guessing that he wasn't actually here.
That's my assumption. But that type of magic still isn't used by someone who's, well, weak, for lack of a better terms. I was more so just bluffing for the sake of trying to get him to do something stupid. Which he didn't, so it means he's probably got a little bit more intelligence than the average crazy wizard.
Quickly down the tree, hearing that he's talked to the guy and tried to taunt him, Karan is going to get inches from Jed and is like looking him up and down like, bear with me for a moment, and like grabbing and everything, like looking him over with the quickening active. Is there anything on him weird or any of that?
It's funny you say that. There is something painted on the back of his armor in blood. It looks like a depiction of a 7-headed hydra.
Quickly cleans that off after committing it to memory. He touched you.
Is everything alright, Karan?
No, apparently their organization might be a hydra, not a snake.
All the more heads to chop off.
But this means that he touched you. But your soul doesn't look tainted. Nothing else seems to be out of place.
I think my soul's a little bit more resilient than you might assume immediately. Don't gotta worry about me. But if he drew something on my back like you're saying, that rubs me the wrong way.
Speaking of cleanliness, we should not be staying here over long. This place unnerves me.
I agree. Let's get moving as soon as we can.
Besides, we didn't leave that many people back to guard the bandits we took, so...
Well, Estovich and the Great Princess are with them. They should be okay.
Hey, let's go take a look at the camp, shall we? You see these four looking around very nervously. Hey, Sinks.
Hello?
You hear the sound of a twig snapping.
Heartfield, is it within 50 feet? Do I feel something within 50 feet of me?
You do feel the presence, but I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Doing this, and we're doing this. Bonus reaction.
Alright. For the moment, depending on the roll, you do feel a presence, and it is a presence of gleeful malevolence.
Okay. There's my wisdom save.
Not bad. It's pretty good.
You feel this entity push hard, but you're able to somewhat halt it. But you do see the environment around you does seem to flicker and just shift just a bit. Like it's trying to change, but it's just barely keeping its own thing.
She snaps towards the twig, and she says, Estovich, we're not alone. There's someone out there. And he's already stepping up, and he says,
We're ahead of you, my lady. You four. What's in the woods? What haven't you told us?
We had a camp with 3 guards west of here, pointing in the direction of the smoke. And they all start looking around, very, very, very scared.
I would assume that under these circumstances, you four don't have a camp anymore. Keep yourself vigilant.
and I'm going to mage hand. Snap, 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 snap. I'm gonna undo their chains so they can help.
They immediately try to pick up anything they can use as a weapon.
Sounds good.
And then John starts to twitch. That malevolence, you feel like it's coming from this direction. Somewhere over here.
There's something here. I'm going to cast Color Emotion on all 4 of these guys. Courage.
Courage.
Immunity to fear for the next minute.
These 3 seem to calm down. John seems, his eyes, it gets a little clearer, looks down, is like, what the fuck?
Stay your ground. Something is trying to take over your mind. All 4 of you, on the vigilance immediately. I command you.
They move to take up defensive positions around you.
Fuck yeah.
You hear a voice from the woods around you. Well, aren't you something interesting?
Is it just me, or does Hestovich hear that too?
Everybody hears it.
Whoever you are stepping onto the territory of the Royal Guard of the Dilish Storms. Any action you take will be against Stormhaven. Tread lightly, interloper.
It wouldn't be the first time. But I'm not here for you. You and your compatriot can relax. I'm just here for the rest of my prey.
You will be doing no such thing.
Hestovich is going to... Can I localize where this voice is coming from?
Currently it's coming from this direction.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic generally over in this direction. Where I think this fucker is hiding.
Thanks. Things go quiet. Like, you thought they were quiet before, but now it sounds like there's something missing. For a brief moment, you catch a glimpse of a figure. Very fancy garb, and they look almost human in appearance, though their ears are pointed like an elf, and their skin is textured with scales all over it.
Okay, and Sinks in that moment, as her reaction, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Sinks is going to try Charm Person.
This entity is going to cast a counterspell.
Alright.
It would seem that I've been had. I think it's time for me to leave.
I think it's time for you to leave as well.
What is your name, perchance?
Hestovich Cylindrel, Royal Butler of the Dilish Storms.
I have my eye on you. The Hydra will be watching.
The Hydra had better be careful lest its eyes get gouged out. The might of Stormhaven doesn't bend its knees to simple whelps.
So it seems. And he'll cast Dimension Door and leave.
Hestovich will let him leave so long as he makes sure that nothing has been grabbed.
Everything seems alright. These 4 men look at you, Hestovich, as if they're looking at a god.
Hestovich assumes a very unflattering butler position. He's just doing his job, man.
You two, they all look at you and they all bow a knee and swear fealty to you.
Fuck yes. She's gonna swap around. If you don't mind me for a little bit of flavor on my heart's burst that I just did, can I swap it around to like pride?
Yeah, sure.
So that they feel a little bit of pride in Stormhaven as they do this.
They already do.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, no, I'm just bolstering that.
I'm so proud of my boys of Luke, Matthew, Mark, and John.
Can't believe Luke, Matthew, Mark, and John survived Spooky Shadow Man. I'm so glad for them.
They'll be turning a new
It would
leaf.
seem your abilities are a hard counter for Garvin.
That's fucking great. Because Hestovich was just like, I know this fucker's under an invisibility spell, so I'm dispelling it.
this little bitch boy just dispelled your charm person, completely
He
revealing his
did.
vulnerability.
Yeah, I love that. Also, Sinks is gonna keep that in mind.
We gon' get he ass.
Alright, so now that he just fucking ran like a little bitch, Sinks is very proud of herself, and I'm going to instill these 4 as a special strike force under Stormhaven, representing Sinks Storm, the Princess of Stormhaven. I am gonna call them the, let's come up with a dumb name. I want to come up with a dumb name for them.
4-leaf clover. 4-leaf clover.
4-leaf clover!
I was gonna say the Storm Guard.
No, the Storm Guard is literally already dead.
The Banditos.
That's the
Squall.
The Banditos. Squall is good.
That is pretty good, actually.
Alright, you 4 from here on out, Operation Squall. Stay by me and you won't get yourself killed.
You don't have to tell us twice.
Very good. I'm glad that you learn quickly. She smiles.
That bastard seemed to have underestimated you.
Many do.
We've tried dispelling him before, and that never worked before. I don't think he was trying. He didn't think you were capable.
Yes. Well, we had the element of surprise this time. I am not overly confident in my abilities, nor do I believe that I will be able to repel him yet again. However, him revealing his vulnerabilities to us in that he goes under the guise of an invisibility spell is pivotal. Next time he comes around, don't be fooled by whatever words he's trying to say. It does appear this man is all of a facade. You four did well. Thank you for your assistance, and furthermore, on behalf of Stormhaven, thank you for not fleeing in our time of need. I trusted you four with your freedom, and I am glad to see that my trust was not ill-founded.
Thank you, but to be perfectly honest, if we did flee, we wouldn't have lasted very long.
Either way, your help was appreciated.
You're welcome. John just kind of looks forlorn. It's like, I was hearing voices in my head telling me to cut my own throat.
Well, thankfully, I didn't want to butt in with this at the time, but we did take all of their weapons. So he would have been trying to cut his throat with a stick.
Yeah.
Karan would be the last one because he was gonna bury the bodies.
Esther would probably, if Karan does not tell her no, would probably help with the bodies while being like very tearful about it. He feels really bad.
He wouldn't say no to the help, but he also feels a little bad that she's upset about it. Like, it's just like, oh, it's just the way of life. Unfortunately, they got screwed by an asshole, but it's the way of life. There's nothing we could have done.
Could have not come here.
Even if we didn't come here, I have a feeling that these people still would have been here and probably died. However, look at it this way. We've got 4 people that we've saved. Unless something completely horrible happened while we're over here. But I trust your princess and Hestovich. I think that they are good. Probably.
Hestovich can keep anyone safe.
Yeah, so we probably saved 4 people. That's far more than what would have survived if we didn't come here. Then they all probably would have died.
I thought that killing people was like a really cool, noble thing. This is just kind of sad.
That's why I try not to kill as much as I can.
People kill for many reasons. The only one I accept is pragmatism. They're trying to kill you, so you kill them.
Nods her head.
How are you feeling after the encounter last night, Aster?
Better, I think. I feel like I'm ready to take something, but also feel like I know now that I'm not ready for anything. It's a little conflicting.
And together we will learn to deal with that feeling.
But you're a knight, don't you already know how to deal with all of that?
To a degree, but I could always be better.
Alright. I feel like if we learn together, then we can make some progress.
And so it shall be!
It's been a while since I said that.
He's so positive, I love him.
No, we should regroup.
I'll meet.
Let's make sure the princess is okay.
I'll meet you all.
Everyone all good and taken care of, Carl? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just. You guys go on ahead. I'll say a small.
No, we're not going on ahead without you. There's a crazy wizard out in these woods.
He does have a plan.
If he wasn't going to kill hurt Jed, I doubt he'll hurt me. But alright, just give me a moment to say a small prayer, and then I'll be ready.
Okay.
If there's any down logs around, Leo Sane is going to try his best to replicate those etchings that Karan made earlier.
That makes me happy.
Hey, Carl.
Yes.
Who are you praying to?
It's a small prayer to the Raven Queen.
What's the Raven Queen like?
Depends. If you are someone that follows her teachings, then a kind soul, I think, that tries to help guide the souls back into the cycle of life and death. And if you're somebody that tries to break the balance, like this Hydra asshole, then, well, she's your worst enemy, and people tend to come after you from her.
And I'm his second worst enemy.
True, you are a horrible enemy to him.
I'm well on my way to becoming the first.
I say that she's a good god, but that would be incorrect. She needs to stay neutral, but I always see the things she does as good. She's a goddess of life and death. She tends to, well, try to make sure that the dead stay dead unless they're needed to help with her goals, in which case those ones are exempt. However, they're not corrupt and evil like some of the others would be.
That seems nice, though. I like the idea of just making sure things are good for everyone. That doesn't sound... I guess it sounds neutral. Okay, I get it. I was just thinking it doesn't sound bad. I've heard some people say not so nice things about the Raven Queen. That's why I was curious what you thought of her.
Well, I mean, some people would be very upset if sometimes a family member as such is just taken too soon. Unfortunately, sometimes the balance must be kept in such a way that someone needs to die early.
Death, in all shapes and forms, is always a tragedy. But it is a necessary balance.
Seems like everything feels unfair around here.
That is because someone has thrown off the balance.
That is why it is up to us to make things fair. My good young miss.
Yeah, that's what knights do, right?
Absolutely.
Alright.
On the way back, Lisa is going to kind of approach Aster and begin talking again.
My good young miss.
Yeah?
After the encounter of last night, I feel the need to talk to you on a more serious matter.
Did I do something wrong?
No, you absolutely did not do anything wrong. I wanted to talk to you about, well, your path on becoming a warrior.
Oh. Did Sir Vardock put you up to this?
No, to tell you the truth, I don't think Sir Vardock really expects it much from me.
If he doesn't say anything to you, that means he thinks you're fine. He only really speaks to you if he thinks you're a problem.
And if I'm overstepping my boundaries here about giving you the whole becoming a knight talk before, presumably he did, then I'll probably be hearing a lot about it later.
We've talked about it a lot. I've talked about it a lot.
That's okay.
Did you want to know what I'm trying to do? Is that it?
I wanted to bring up something that you said earlier. It's important to know kind of where you come from, why you do the things that you do. So yes, I would like you to tell me exactly what you're after.
I'm trying to become the royal guard of, soon-to-be Queen de l'Sturm, so that I can repay her for protecting me. By protecting her.
Absolutely. And thus the will turns, as it is all a big system of favors and returning favors and growing from those favors and so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, but it's not like she asked me to do it. It's just something I want to do.
And after everything that you've seen and done, do you still want to? Knowing that you very well may have to take another life.
I know that I'm gonna have to take more lives. I know that that's probably in my future, and I just gotta get more comfortable with it, right?
You said earlier that your whole approach to fighting was that it was something valiant, something honorable to take another life in combat.
If it's for the sake of defending someone you care about, then yeah, I think so.
I think you will come to see that all death, no matter for its purpose, no matter who it is who's dying, it's always a tragedy. You may not have seen it, but last night after an encounter, I wept for the men that we killed. Because they died as bandits.
Even you still, Serlios, then?
Yes, it is something I hold on to, because it is very important that no matter the circumstances, you must never lose your sense of sympathy for the opponent.
So it's...
What we saw back at the bandit encampment, what happened to those 3 men, is a result of what happens if you lose that sympathy and start to go down a dark path.
It was so horrible. Yeah, okay. I was,
So be strong and cry for those who you have slain in battle. It is strength. It is through strength that you weep, not weakness.
Thank you, Serlios, then. I think I'll try and do that.
That is very good.
I feel like I have a better understanding now of you and why knights fight. I still have a lot to learn, but...
You are becoming a very strong warrior.
Oh, thanks. I've been training really hard. It's my goal to hopefully one day be as strong as Sir Bardock is.